Alright, so this is actually going to be another video that's way different to what I usually do, and I know I'm really late to this, 2 months late in fact, but Resident Evil 9 leaks were circulating a while ago. Well, to be more precise, one person said some stuff and others reported on it like I'm doing, but I'll be upfront here when I say don't believe the leaks. So before I get into why, let's actually discuss what the man had to say about this game. According to a Twitter user, Chris Marks, he stated that the game will be coming out later in 2024. The main protagonist will be Chris Redfield, but others such as Claire, Jill, and Leon will be in the game as well, and will be playable in certain missions. It'll be more action-orientated, but still horror-themed, and may have an option for both first and third-person perspectives. The Winter's story has now been concluded and is not part of this game. He then goes on to say that the Code Veronica remake will be released sometime in 2025, with the RE5 remake coming out shortly afterwards. So I'm recording this after the fact because I didn't see this particular set of leaks and rumors until I had already finished the rest of the video. So I apologize if this seems kind of put in out of nowhere, but take this with a grain of salt. Everything being listed here, I'm not going to go through it because quite frankly, I very highly doubt any of it's true. I really don't want to entertain any of it, but it's on the screen now if you really want to read it. Anyway, back to the video. Now, this didn't really gain any traction, or at least not what I noticed, hence why I'm so late with this video. I legit only saw a video about these leaks about a day ago, so yeah, that's how you know that it didn't really go anywhere. Not really all that much to say about it, to be honest. The main characters are mentioned, but no story beats, no gameplay features aside from perspective changes. Here's the thing, I really don't want to entertain the idea that any of this is actually true, because it's not. Simply due to the fact that early Resident Evil leaks have been notorious for being incredibly incorrect. And I'll tell you why you should not believe these leaks, especially so early on. First of all, let's use Resident Evil 4 Remake as an example, since that is the most recent game that got plenty of leaks. I even made a video on it way back. I didn't go into much detail in the video on the off chance that these leaks were actually true. I didn't want to spoil anything for anyone. However, that time has passed. The game is released, so I can say whatever I want now. It also helps that none of these leaks were correct in the slightest. So when I made my video, there was this massive list going around that included things such as the visitors were cut, there was only one giant fight, the island was cut, or at least heavily reduced, Krauser was cut, there were 2 pursuer enemies, them being Mendez and Verdugo, Ada's campaign was intertwined with Leon's, and there was one Chainsaw Ganado, but he kept coming back with different mutations. These are only some of what was on the list, and unfortunately I can't find the exact website that I found these on, but this was circulating at around August 2022. Now just looking at these at a glance, you can see that most of these were outright lies spread by some person who either A, got fed the wrong info, or B, was having an absolute field day with making these things up. There were leaks that came out closer to the game's release that were actually accurate, stuff like Ashley's new design and Assignment Ada's exclusion, but even then that had some information wrong, such as Krauser being completely redesigned and Sadler being more of a scientist. So, still think that this information might be reputable? Well, how about we go even further back to RE3 Remake? Oh yes, that game. The one that kind of just took everything about RE3 Nemesis and chucked it into orbit, never to be seen again. The one that really feels like DLC to Resident Evil 2 more than an actual game. Unfortunately, you're going to have to take my word on this one, as for the life of me, I could not find this information anywhere to show you. But, trust me, it was reported at some point before the game's announcement that the Raccoon City map would be semi-open world, a lot like what we got with RE4 Remake. The subway station would act as a sort of hub where you could go back and forth on locations in Raccoon City to do what you needed to do. This made the remake sound absolutely amazing to me, and I got really hyped, even though I already had that seed of doubt planted in the back of my mind. I really wish I could find where I read this, as I sound like an absolute madman, but trust me, it was reported on, but it's gone now. Such is the internet, unfortunately. Now, there were other leaks for the game that were way closer to the game's release after the demo came out. This was due to people data mining the game and finding references to basically everything in the game, which also happened to RE2 Remake as well. So yeah, those don't really count, as I'm also talking about early leaks, like stuff that we get before the game is even announced. What about another game franchise? How about Red Dead Redemption and its recent re-release? That's honestly a sore spot for me. The game was being reported by countless individuals, all having conflicting information. One guy over here said it was going to be a full remake in the Red Dead Redemption 2 engine, and then another one over here said it was going to be a remaster with higher frame rates and playing at 4K. I found this one on Reddit with images that look somewhat believable. And then the game was rated in another country, so we knew it was coming out. And then the game gets announced, and we noticed that the game looks identical to the previous gen release. What's more is it was only coming out for the PS4 and Switch, which was very weird in my eyes, and in everyone else's eyes as well. Then the game comes out, and yeah, same frame rates, same resolution, nothing was changed, it was just a re-release. Switch version is kind of cool though, I'll probably pick that up whenever it goes on special. Basically, look, what I'm trying to get at here is that you really shouldn't believe any leaks for anything video game related, especially Resident Evil games, before the games are actually announced, unless there's some truly hard evidence. RE3 Remake's box art got leaked before it was announced, and even then, I didn't really believe it all that much until Capcom showed us RE3. People lie. A lot. People love to make up things for attention. Just last week, someone was supposedly showing the world the new Nintendo console called Focus. It was an image on a TV screen. I read some of the Twitter replies and it genuinely saddened me that some people actually fell for it. However, it also amused me to no end with how much shit he got from people with actual brains. Do you know how easy it is to make an image like that in Photoshop? It takes like 5 seconds. I don't really get the play here. Obviously attention seeking, that's number one. But did he really think it was going to be believable in any way? Teens were probably the ones that fell for it, to be honest, but they also suffer from brain rot, so that's expected anyway. Leaks like this play on people's hopes and dreams. They are made to drum up hype, but also give the individual who made them attention and internet fame. They want to feel important. Yeah, you know what? It does build interest, sure, but I don't remember the names of any of these false leakers. I'll honestly just look at them as idiots. That's a bit harsh, but I've been burned one too many times. So, what can you do? I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, a bit of a different video with this one, but I wanted to get my voice out on the topic of video game leaks. If you stayed around this long, you might as well give me a like and subscribe. Why not? I'm good for it, I swear. Anyway, I'll be back soon with another video. Cheers, guys. Do you know how easy it is to make an image like that in Photoshop? It tastes.